everybody, and welcome to today's episode of DownStream Outdoors. Today on DownStream Outdoors, we are continuing our wild edibles collection. On this particular episode, we are looking at something called the Jerusalem artichoke. Jerusalem artichoke produces a pretty yellow flower like this, very akin to a sunflower or a black-eyed Susan, but it has always has this yellow center. It's going to have the big, broad leaves, much similar to a sunflower, and it's going to have a really rough and hairy stalk to it, okay? Whenever we're looking at the Jerusalem artichoke, we're not looking for the top part of the plant. This is not the edible part. What we're looking for is the root system. There's actually tubers produced by the Jerusalem artichoke. And this is what we got here. You can see these nice little tubers that have come off of this one that I've dug up. Now we could eat these tubers just the way they are. However, yes, they're very edible, but they have earned a horrible nickname whenever you eat them raw. They're called Jerusalem artichokes. You can understand what's going on just by that little nickname. They give you horrible gas if you eat them raw. But if you cook these down, you change the chemical structure of the root, and it is no longer so bad for flatulence. These have been propagated for hundreds of years. Native Americans propagated these all over central Pennsylvania, and you'll often find them in big plots like what I have behind me. It goes all the way over here, all the way off camera where you can no longer see it. You can propagate them from the tubers themselves, which these tubers could be stored like any other kind of tuber, like a potato or a carrot. They can be stored in a nice cold system. Obviously, like I said, the best way to eat these is to cook them first. These things have gained a lot of popularity recently with the chefs of the bigger, more trendy restaurants that are trying to go with more wholesome foods and trying to go with foods that you don't typically find in the grocery store. And as such, right now these are actually becoming fairly valuable on the market with chefs, because they're just not something you find everywhere growing. And a lot of people just simply don't know what they're looking for whenever it comes to the Jerusalem artichoke. Once again, this is another one of those plants. If you don't know what you're looking for, don't go out and just pick something up and start eating it. Please do not just start picking things up and eating them. And if you ever do run into a true patch of Jerusalem artichoke, don't go in and dig up every plant there and destroy the whole plot. We go back to, I've talked to before on the wild edible episodes, the rules of 1/3. Never take more than 1/3 of the plants that are available. You're ensuring a good harvest, and a good harvest for you next time you come back. Because just like most of these wild edibles we go after year, you can find them in the same location. Now, since these do produce a tuber, they propagate from the root or from the seeds produced from the pollinated flower. So they do propagate fairly well, fairly quickly, and some people have actually started to farm these. I myself would like to come back after the flowers have went to seed and gather some seeds, because I'm probably going to propagate some of these myself. Please do not go out and just try things. You do not want to get poisoned. This is one that's going to be hard to mistake, even though there's something like 300 different varieties of flowers that produce a yellow flower that looks akin to the sunflower and such. These ones are, the only ones that are going to produce a tuber. So they're going to be pretty easy to identify. For me, I'm just going to take this small handful that I got from one plant. Even though there's probably 100 plants here, I only dug up one plant. We're going to take these home, we're going to fry these up. We're going to have some Jerusalem artichoke for supper tonight. And for you, till next time, keep your line wet and out of the trees.